Friday, the 10th of January, 15:20 on the clock. Big Phil has still took Rangers training and he says the board are backing him 200%. Welcome back, welcome back. I don't know what's going on, but it's scary. This is Fog Football, but we're not going to talk too much about Clement, even though we kind of are, but we're going to look at Chris Sutton's comments last night. And it's scary when a guy who hates Rangers gets Rangers more than pretty much everybody at the club right now, and it is scary times. Now, if you want a live stream, I'm going to do a live stream later. Hopefully, the internet speed's not the best, so we'll see. But we'll dive into what Chris Sutton had to say regarding Rangers, because I mean last night was so bad, and it's honestly it's so depressing talking about Rangers Football Club right now, man. It just is. Like, it is the same old story, and you know what? I'm hearing people come on here, right? Before I get into the Sutton comments, I need to address this. People are coming on, right? I'm hearing, oh, we can get up for the big games. We can get up for the big. Can we really get up for the big? We beat Celtic once under Clement, once in 7. Now, yeah, across the 7 games were some of them close, and one of them was 3-0. Absolutely, but we still lost the other ones or drew ones that we needed to win. I'm sick of this narrative that's being spun recently about, oh, I just don't get that. It's like, have we really turned up in the big games? Like, yeah, we've done well in Europe. I don't think there's any denying that, apart from Leon. Like, I mean, there's no real complaint. Obviously, Kiev at Hampden. This season, like, there's not many complaints. I mean, Clement away from home in Europe has got a fantastic record. So how can he do it away, but he can't do it in the Scottish Premiership? Now, I've seen, people say on Twitter, like, we've turned into Aberdeen, where we used to bash them for not trying against Celtic, but they try again against us, etc., etc. I mean, yeah, we beat Celtic 3-0, but I mean, you look earlier this season at Parkhead, we didn't try. We got scalped 3-0. Decent 10 minutes, and the arse went. It's 6-1, half a dozen of the other folks. You know what I mean? I just don't really understand this logic that we try for the big games, because my logic is our manager's shite. 80% of the players are shite, and that's when you've got that, and also board members that are just walking fuds. It's a recipe for disaster. But let's dive into what Chris Sutton had to say. And I quote, "You look at the Rangers squad. Does the jersey fit for a lot of these players? I have said it before. There is a losing mentality at the club, and nothing really has changed. This isn't just on Philip Clement. This has been happening now for years and years." End of quote. Here, he's not wrong. It has been happening for years. I wish it was just Phil that brought this disaster seasoning a bit on us. But the reality is, it was the exact same under Beale, and it was the exact same under Gio. Honestly, Sutton can say for years and years, right? When you go down the lower divisions and you come back up, I wasn't expecting us to win league titles, right? But after a few years of Gerrard rebuilding, and when you win your league title, see, once we win a league title and we were 25 points ahead of Celtic, that is when, right, that has to be the norm, i.e. league titles consistently, year in, year out, at the top, winning some, alright, losing the odd one, because it's always going to happen. I just don't get this anymore. I just don't. Sutton went on to say, Celtic are laughing at them. Brendan Rodgers is cracking open the champagne this evening, laughing at them. It is an embarrassment that we are in the early part of January and Celtic are 15 points clear at the top. That is shocking. It is amazing. End of quote. And it is in here. Celtic have been fantastic this season. Can't really fault them. I think they were better at the first part of the season. A bit more convincing. But you know what? They don't need to be. Celtic don't need to play at their skin. Celtic should be saving those performances for the Champions League. You know what I mean? See, like I've had a bunch of Celtic fans, right, comment on my Feds, Fog Football, whatever. And it's not pity they've got for Rangers, but it's almost like, come on, make this interesting sort of vibes. Like, it's not even like funny to make fun of Rangers now because it's so bad. And it's like 15 points at the start of January. It is bogging. And could you imagine if they lost the old firm? I know it's old if, buts, maybes, but imagine they lost the old firm 21 points behind. I said at the start of the season we had no chance, and I get slated for it. I get called a Celtic fan for saying we had no chance of winning the league because we didn't have any chance, man. I said we'll probably finish about 25 points behind. Look, if Philip Clement stays in the job, right, which to be honest he will, how will we finish closer than 15th per se? We're going to lose more points. The away form is disgusting. I heard Clement say earlier the away form's not good enough. Winning 8 out of 11 wouldn't be good enough for Rangers Football Club. Winning 3 out of 11? 3 out of 11? That is like a hangable offence for the top two here, but obviously not for us. We're an also ran, man. Fucking breaks my heart to say it, like, but we're pish. I mean, it's just we are mince. We are mince. We are like, you get your. I mean, this is an F1 analogy. You get your seasons where teams dominate. Red Bull, Mercedes, back in the day, McLaren, Honda. Senna, Prost, Williams with Nigel Mansell, etc. Where one team will win like 90 to 95% of the races that season, but one other team might win like 2 races that season. That's what we feel like right now. We just feel so bad. And you know what? When this team plays at their top, like to the top of their ability, are we closer to Celtic than you might think? We beat them 3-0. Maybe we are, guys. Who knows? If you deserve to beat Tottenham, if you put Nice to the sword and you can actually beat teams in Europe that are better than teams in our league, then theoretically you should be, but they're shite. When you've got a team full of guys that think it's fine to draw and drop points, funny enough, you're going to draw and drop points, and lose and drop points. Robin Proper, man, he's a fud. I can't stand him. This is what Chris Sutton went on to say. Myself and Chris Boyd thought Clement should have been gone a long time ago, but they're sort of a crossroads now. Can this go on? Is Patrick Stewart going to look at the bigger picture and not just one game against Celtic where they raised their game, or the odd game in Europe? Domestically, I said before the game, Clement will come out and talk about Celtic having the bigger budget, but Rangers should not be dropping 19 points against sides that have far lesser budgets, and he never mentions that. We hear the excuses week in, week out. It's about time he took ownership, but he won't. This Belgian Waffle carry on and won't stop until a decision is made on him. And of course, can't disagree with a thing Sutton says, and I can't stand Sutton. You know what I mean? Celtic man. He always sticks a knife into Rangers. But if you're a Rangers fan and you're listening to what I've just read out there, that Sutton's, how can you disagree with it? We are a fucking disgrace. We are being run. I don't even know what are we being run like, honestly. Oscar Pistorius with his metal legs. What's going on? Someone let me know.